often have wondered what is the origin of the word ignorance? What is the meaning of the word ignorance and how it came into being? We will start by looking at ignorance from a pragmatic point of view and we will answer as to how could this ignorance come into the absolute being who must be absolute consciousness and therefore cannot be subject to ignorance. And if all is Brahma, that is, Brahma is the sole reality, the sole existence, then Maya can nothing be but a power of Brahma, a force of his consciousness. The Supreme is assumed to know himself and the cause of ignorance. Likewise, the Jeev Atma has no ground to despair of any knowledge or deny his capacity of knowing the original cause of his own present ignorance. For more clarity, let us see the working of the consciousness. The working of the consciousness can be understood by dividing the consciousness into active consciousness and passive consciousness. This division of the consciousness is only for the understanding purpose, not that the consciousness is divided into two parts, because Brahma is the sole reality and so consciousness is a single entity and a reality. Therefore, the categorization of the consciousness is made on the working of the consciousness. These are the parameters on which the categorization is made. Hence, there is an active consciousness and a passive consciousness. By the action of the consciousness, knowledge is created, and by the inaction of the consciousness, passivity is created. Now, this passivity should not be misunderstood as an inertia. Rather, it is a self reserved form of energy, it is a reservoir of energy. It is supposed that in the action, the individual soul becomes ignorant of its passiveness, which is supposed to be its true nature. Ignorance comes in a later stage when mind is separated from its spiritual and supramental basis. And to know about as to what is the form of ignorance, it is a formation of concentrated energy, a knot of the force of consciousness in its movement, a knot maintained in being by a constant whirl of action. Tapas is the nature of consciousness. It is created through the action of consciousness. So, mind identifying itself with a separate movement and identifying itself also in the movement separately with each of the forms resulting from it. So, this is ignorance when the mind starts to identify itself with a separate movement, though it is the part of the action of consciousness itself. So, we have to ask ourselves what is the nature of this absorption? What is the nature of this engrossment, this separating, this self forgetfulness, the concentration, which is the obscure miracle of the universe?